Hi everyone, welcome to the Parrot Teacher. I'm David and today's video is a bit more of a serious topic, and that is, do you want a rescue parrot? I thought I'd make this video based on recent experience and stuff I've seen on social media recently, because as someone who has rescued parrots and rehabilitated them, someone who's worked with Sophie to help others do the same, I think it's very important to present an accurate picture of what it's actually like to rescue a parrot and the amount of effort that you need to put in to do so. Now, this video isn't designed to put anyone off. I'm not saying you shouldn't rescue parrots. I think it's great to rescue parrots. However, if you're considering to do so, you need to really be prepared for what you're getting yourself into. Now, when you take on a rescue parrot, it could be the most amazing, easy experience ever, but more likely it's going to be difficult and you're going to encounter problems. So, did you know that the Louis and Kipling is playing in the background? Did you know that parrots are the most rehomed species of animal in the whole world? You know, they are rehomed more often, and that is because they are so difficult to deal with and you need to be prepared to do so. So again, this video isn't prepared to try and put you off of it, it's more to prepare you for it and to prevent even more rescue parrots going back into the rescue system when it can just be prevented and they can just go to prepared homes in the first place. That leads on to my first point, and that is you need to be prepared for the worst and most difficult experience. You need to go into this situation with your eyes wide open, because if you have false expectations of something being easy, it's going to make it that much harder and more stressful. So if you predict the worst when you're rescuing a parrot and you're prepared for it, it will make it that much easier. If it is easier, you may have, as I said in the intro, the most amazing easy experience. When we rehomed Pickles, she is a rescue. That was so easy. She had a minor biting issue with Sophie, but that was it. She loved me, she was straight out, she knew everything she needed to do. It was very easy. However, with Olive, with Scampy, and with our latest two rescues, that was not the case. And especially with Louis and Kipling, which I've just talked about on Patreon, with Sophie, it's going to take a lot more work. And in some ways, they're lucky to be in our house because we know what to do, and we're prepared to take the extreme steps required to get them to the point where they're going to be happy. And by extreme steps, I mean me sitting cowering on a chair with my hoodie up to protect myself because I need to sit perfectly still so Kipling can get used to me being in a room, otherwise he will destroy me. That's the sort of steps we're talking about here. They will take extra work, but if you're prepared to put that extra work in, it can be the most amazingly rewarding experience. Seeing how baby Olive is now compared to what she was like when she first came here, and knowing that we took her out of a situation that was terrible, you know, a tiny cage, bad diet, no interactions, nothing, and now hearing her kiss, hearing her want to touch everything and wave things with her foot, it is incredibly rewarding, and we are so grateful and glad we had the opportunity to do so. But you need to be prepared to go through all that terrible difficulty first to get to that point. That leads on to my next point again. Don't believe the fairy tale and hype you see on social media. You will see a lot of social media posts saying, I got my rescue and it's instantly in love with me and it's amazing and I'm the most amazing parrot trainer in the world. I mean, me and Sophie are obviously, but you know, but you know what I mean, you know, it's just a fairy tale, it's a myth. Most of the time, if someone's got a rescue, or even just a parrot from a breeder, it takes work and training and effort behind the scenes. It is a lot of work, and something that really frustrates me on social media is when Chip screams a lot as well. Something really frustrates me on social media is people portraying it as really easy. It is not. It takes work and patience and time and effort. And if you're prepared to do that, like I keep saying, it's great, but people have this expectation from social media that it's just going to be easy and quick and they're going to love you and bond you on day one. It doesn't work that way. So please, please don't believe that hype if you're thinking of rescuing, and go in with your eyes wide open. Another thing you should be prepared to do when you take on a rescue, if you haven't got much experience and you just have good intention, is don't be afraid or hesitant to ask for help. Reach out to people like us. We'll try and reply to comments, or reach out to a business like ours, Best Behaved Birds, where we can help you. Ask for people's opinions, but take everything on board. Don't just go with one. Listen to everyone and go with a consensus on what's common sense to do. Educate yourself, learn as much as possible about it. Don't let ego get in the way like in the social media. Don't be afraid to just ask for help and prepare yourself fully, because ego is one of our biggest problems as humans. It gets in the way of so many things. I mean, I'm not innocent at this, you know. None of us are innocent of having this pride and ego and wanting to portray this amazing image and be like, oh my God, I can solve anything. Louis and Kipling are a great example. We had some false expectations because of what we were told. They've come into our house. It's a totally different environment, totally new, and some of the traditional training techniques aren't working. So we've had to take it all the way back, and we're going to have to work through every single step, right from the point of tolerance, which I was talking about with the hoodie in the chair. I won't talk about the technique I'm using there, but yeah, we're going all the way, and it's frustrating and tiring and stressful. So ask for that help, know what you're doing, get yourself prepared, and don't be afraid to reach out, because some people will judge you for it, but who cares about them, to be honest, because they're irrelevant. You want to talk about the people who want to help you give your parrot the best life, because they're the only ones that really matter. Next point, be prepared again for excessive noise, for aggression, for biting, for screaming, for not being able to go to bed, for all of the problems that come with parrots, but worse, because a rescue parrot may have all of these emotional traumas in the past, all of these things that have been building up that you need to start sorting out and start building trust with. These are realities of rescuing a parrot. You may get bitten a lot, like I have. I got bitten on the scalp by Kipling, which I've never had happen to me before in my entire life. You may be bitten on the hand, you know, you may have to work through so many things. You have to be tolerant of screaming, and I think that's one of the main reasons when I listen to people who are already thinking of rehoming, and this is not people I interact with more, I just read, because we expose ourselves to a lot of social media to keep an eye on what's going on. People just rehome parrots because they scream too much, they're too noisy. Be prepared for that, because if you know it's going to happen, it's not going to surprise you, you know, and then you can work through it and use the techniques that me and Sophie talk about in our videos. These things are going to happen, they're unavoidable, you know, and if you can work through them, they work great. And please forgive me for repeating myself in this video, because it is the same point basically I'm driving through in each subsection, but it's oh so important. The last sort of negative thing, before I just talk a bit about positives at the end, is the first couple of weeks are probably going to be the worst part of it for you. Again, you may have that miracle parrot like we had with Pickles, which is easy peasy, but the first couple of weeks are going to be the worst because they're settling into a new environment. It's going to be very strange, very scary. Again, you don't know what traumas they've been through or what difficulties they faced, and you're going to have to sort of like just let them get it out of the system, work on passive bonding, work on training through the bars. If maybe after that first week they're receptive to coming out, getting them out and being prepared to be bitten and have to work through problems and then problem solve. So a lot of it is down to problem solving and scientific experimenting, working out what the issue is. Again, let me use the hoodie example. Kipling comes out, bites me on the scalp. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind that is. I'm not sure what's going on. Am I scary? Is my movements? So then I take it straight back, sit on a chair, protect myself in hoodie. Don't be ashamed to protect yourself either, by the way. There's no shame in doing so. It doesn't make you less of a man, less of a woman, less of a person, or a coward or anything. You need to protect yourself so then you are not showing fear and you are not getting stressed by the experience. If you're protected, you can then take the steps you need to work with your parrot. But I digress. Just be prepared for the first couple of weeks being a nightmare, and when you work through it and take all the steps necessary, it will improve. It will improve. Just believe in that. Now I've gone through all of that horror story, all those negatives, and you're still watching this, that probably means maybe you are ready to take on a rescue. So let's talk about the positives. When you rescue a parrot, you are taking a parrot out of a system which could potentially have it in there for life and pass between owner to owner. You are taking that parrot away from the situation where it goes to someone who isn't prepared, like I've been saying, and then they take this parrot on, they think they're doing something good, and they just don't know what they're getting themselves into. The parrot bites them, the parrot screams, they knee jerk and get rid of them before they've even given them a chance, and then they're straight back into that system, and we're fueling it again and again, and it's no good. So you are doing something amazing, you are taking a parrot out of that system, and you are giving that parrot a home and a life they can enjoy and be comfortable with. And for you as a personal reward, you get to see that parrot improve, their life improve, show those signs of affection and trust with you, do those cute tricks, do those fun things, and do those amazing things. And just because I feel like it, after this, I'm going to show you a couple of clips of Olive, and if I can see some of the maybe early ones, we don't really have many clips of biting because who wants to film that? Just show what she's like now, and Scampy, and maybe a couple of clips of these guys, because Kipling has learned to laugh, and while he's an absolute nightmare right now, there are still endearing qualities and just these amazing little moments we're getting even only after a week, which are giving us those signs of hope that we can rehabilitate and they can sort of settle into this house and be a happy part of the flock.
Good girl.
So guys, thank you very much for watching this. I know it was a long video. I hope it was useful, and I hope a lot of you take what I want from it, rather than just going, oh well, I'm terrible for saying that rescues may be difficult, because they are. It's a fact, it's the truth. And if you have any questions or you need some help or advice with rescues, then please do get in touch with me or Sophie. We're happy to help. But in the meantime, take care and see you later.